Hi, I'm Yesenia Gonzalez, and I'm here with Sam Gomez. This is ONT Now.
So obviously, one of the biggest topics that's going on in the community now is that there's fires going on. Fires? I mean, how many fires has it been already?
So I know it started with the garages. I think there was like 2 garage fires, and then there was is it just 1 or 2 house fires?
I think there was a house fire, but that it actually burnt 2 houses or something like that.
You know, this is just, it really scares me because, I mean, it could happen anywhere.
Sure.
Right. But these fires have actually been in like one little area. My family has property in that block, you know, so it's just, it's really scary to know that we just don't know why these are taking place. Well, we know that there's an arsonist, but what's going on? You know, why this area? You know, what are we going to do about it? We can't always just depend on the police and to figure things out. And I know that it's been on the news and everything, and they've covered it. But I'm worried about the neighbors, and I'm worried about the residents.
Sure.
You know, how are they feeling? You know, hey, let us know. What are you guys feeling right now? What is it that's going through your mind, and what can we do to help?
Yeah. And obviously, thoughts out to the firemen that actually got hurt in this last one. Not to say that a garage fire is something that we shouldn't be concerned about, right? But we have a lot of fires in the community. We have a lot of properties, for instance, like especially in South Chicago, that maybe they're not, somebody's not living in there, right? They're abandoned. You almost expect, or when you hear a fire happening and you hear it's in that type of property, you know, you're like, oh, well, that's too bad, but, right? But so after the first garage fire, because I don't really track daily comment for comment on Facebook type things. I don't do that. I end up getting lost in Facebook for videos for hours. It's crazy. But so obviously this is a big thing that's going on in the community. And so I saw that there was a fire. I saw there was a garage fire, and it was a big deal. And then it was like, hold on a second. There was another one, right? And I don't know how many days from another, but it was like too close.
Yeah, they were pretty. I thought that the first one was because of fireworks and stuff, and that's another thing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're not thinking it's a big deal.
It's just.
I mean, let's say, listen, any loss of property or damage where you're concerned about your life is a big deal. But I'm just saying in the sense of now all of a sudden it seems like we actually have a serial arsonist that either lives in the community or is for some reason targeting Hegewisch as a neighborhood, right? Because that's what it seems like now. It's
just scary that that's what we have to deal with, what we have to worry about now. And then with the shootings going on, you know what I mean? Just, come on. There's a protest going on just north of us on 71st Street, and you know, another shooting situation. Yeah. So it's just scary these times right now. It's the summer, and it's hard. It's sad to say that the weather gets hotter. It's just more activity takes place. I don't know. I don't know what at this point what.
Right. I mean, we just knew that there was something that we kind of had to talk about it because it's to the point now where, again, I don't know what's going on. Have you seen anything that somebody either posted or that they were talking about in particular?
Well, I did see that because of surveillance cameras that the neighbors had, they were able to get some footage, but obviously, you know, they can't really talk about it. It's an open investigation. Sure. There was a suspect for some time. I don't know if that person is still a suspect, but either way, you know, in the meantime, some of the things that I would like to see is, you know, can we get, I don't know, a fireman to talk to us about what we do in these situations? Right. Give us some pointers on what kind of safety precautions we could take. One of the things that I know that have helped some areas is block parties, block clubs, just talking to your neighbors and getting to know them, being able to keep an eye out for your neighbors. We'll be able to surveillance our blocks more. We can't always just depend on the police.
Are there any block clubs out there now? Functional block clubs?
Functional, I wouldn't be able to tell you now. I know when I was still working with the city, I worked closely with a lot of block clubs. There was one on 87th and Muskegon. I know the Jeffrey Manor area, there is like a 4-block block club, and it's pretty active. They share everybody's phone numbers. They have a phone tree, so whenever they see any kind of activity, they call each other, and then they all call 911. And to be honest, I mean, that's how you're going to get responses. Is if you have 1 or 2 people calling, they should respond right away. But if you have 10 people calling about the same thing, you better believe you're going to get a better response.
If you see something and you're sure that someone else called, call because it is. I mean, I remember that from the office also. It's the amount of calls they get sometimes really lets people know. Because I remember we would actually go to the alderman's office and say, hey, there's this problem, and he'd check the records and they go, nobody's calling 311, nobody's calling 911, so. I go to those agencies and they're not seeing calls. So definitely call it in. If you see something, say something. I know it's something that we hear quite a bit these days, but in this case, if you see something, say something. If you are either a part of a block club or you manage a block club, please reach out to us. Reach out to us here via Facebook. Reach out to us via...
We'd love to hear your feedback. You know, is it working for you? And give others pointers on how to start their own block club.
Right, or what are you concerned with? What else are you concerned with? So there's a lot of things, obviously, that the community is concerned with. Us making this special presentation to actually talk about it, just that we felt like this is a subject that we couldn't let another week go by before we address. So we really hope that we come to a resolution and we actually find this person who's actually doing the arson. But keep your heads up. Understand that everybody throughout the community is concerned for you. We don't see it as just a Hegewisch issue. This is obviously an issue that should be crossing all of the neighborhood borders. We should all be concerned about what's going on in Hegewisch today. And I can tell everybody who lives there that I personally am very concerned about what's going on there. And we want to make sure that we do whatever we can to find the person that's doing it and make sure that the community goes back to somewhat normalcy. But that's about all we were going to talk about for today.
So let us know if there's anything we can do. If you want to just express your feelings or show your concerns or talk about what you're going through, you don't want to put it on a comment, feel free to message us.
Thank you.
Thank you.